ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। कठोपनिषद प्रथम अध्याय द्वितीय वल्ली mantra number 16. We were discussing about Omkar. Om. What is Om? That is to be discussed. So we have discussed half portion yesterday. So today we will complete it. So first thing, the Om symbol is not only an idol representing absolute reality, but it also represents the relative reality also. Clear? Means the expressed world, the perceived world, what we see, what we feel, it's all transitory and relative. It is today there, yesterday it was not there, tomorrow also it will not be there. So that is the ephemeral world. Clear? So that is the relative reality. But it looks like, it appears like truth, appears like real. So in that case, that is relatively real. And Om represents that also. So the worshipper or the meditator can meditate upon it as the supreme or as the relative. Clear? And through deep and long meditation, when the meditator comes to discover a personal identity with the very thing the symbol stands for, that is when he realizes his identity with the symbol. He gains the realm of his identification. If the meditator has become one with the meditated, and if to him the symbol is a representation of the Apara Brahman, Hiranyagarbha, or the total mind, he gains that state of existence available in Brahmaloka. So if anyone starts meditate upon the Om as a symbol of that relative reality, that is Virat, and the Sukshma Roop of the Sthula Virat is Sukshma. Total Sukshma means total Hiranyagarbha, means total mind. So that person becomes one with that Hiranyagarbha. He gains that state of existence available in Brahmaloka. If, on the other hand, the symbol represents for the successful meditator the supreme reality, he comes to gain in stage a greater inner purification, a deeper power of concentration, and through long pondering upon the nature of the self, he gains in the end an identity that I am, aham, asmi. means this I am. When he started that who am I, and it ends with this I am, means I am the essence of the whole existence, whole reality, whole perceived world. How? Not with this body, but the essence of this body mind intellect by which this body mind intellect function. Clear? So obtains verily whatever he desires. If a person gets established or becomes successful in Om uh, meditation, he obtains verily whatever he desires. So in this state, Veda says, Upanishad says, because what is the mantra? Ends with the ends with etad hi eva aksharan gyatva yo yadichati tasya tat. Whatever he desires, that he obtains. So, in this statement, Mrityu Devata, Lord Death, is indicating truth, now accepted as a verified fact, supported by observed happening in life in the world of modern psychology. As you think, so you become. So, when the thinking comes to gain the necessary potency. In fact, we have only to wish or desire, and our desire or wish must come true. You may wonder whether the Swami has now gone slightly off his head, since it must be your experience in life that almost none of your desires has ever come true. My beloved, he has not yet gone mad, nor is the Shruti a mere textbook of, mad ravings of generations of lunatics. Since the Shruti Mata cannot go wrong, so this sadhu who is only trying to unfold the significances in these mantras cannot also be wrong. Again, just because there is a Shruti declaration, fire is cold, we shall not handle fire carelessly or put a few glowing coal pieces tied in a kerchief on our head and eyes on a summer afternoon. If personal experience is seemingly against the Shruti word, certainly the Shruti text must be taken to mean and hint us at some significance deeper than the obvious word meaning. Clear? So, why is it then that none of our desires come to be true? Let us analyze ourselves. We are under a delusory idea that thought is an idle, important, important happening merely within ourselves. In this misconception is the very seed of our samskarika limitation, and sorrows. Thought has godly powers. As each thought sweeps across the mind, its secret potency rises up in front of us as an agent willing and ready to manifest that thought as a reality around us. So, this is something like the mysterious genie in, Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp. So, Aladdin had merely to rub the lamp, and out came the genie who saluted his master, a ready slave to execute any wish the master might express. And we know that nothing was impossible for the lamp's genie. So, a thousandfold more powerful, magnanimous, and adorable is the genie of the mind that rises in us, a ready and willing slave to execute our thought comments. And yet, my beloved souls, you are still asking the same old question with your eyes. But Swamiji, aren't you mad? You are talking just the opposite of what we are experiencing, although the genie idea is, we admit, quite an entertaining idea of hope. Maybe we may yet discover the cause of our failures. If we are actually failing, as we said before, the adorable spirit of thought, the genie of the mind, rises up in front of us, as it were, with each desire that whistles through our mental plane. With the ending of the thought, the genie, with faithful anxiety and sincerity, turns upon his heels to sail forth to execute the order given by man's conscious mind. But alas, yet the spirit could take the first step to rush out on his errand. Another thought wave of desire has risen up in inner world, calling the genie back to take more orders. And at the command of the mind, it revolves around its heels again to face its master. Clear? So, sad indeed is the plight of this godly agent, the presiding deity of the human mind, the creature of all might, and all power is made under our own confusing comments and contradictory orders to stand and whirl like a top, each half of the circle representing a definite command given, and the other half showing a definite but vain attempt made by the spirit at its execution. But the desire power does not allow it any chance at all to fulfill itself. A mind tossed by, you know, contending thoughts, or a mind plagued by an eruption of pox like desires is the mind that is weeping over its own impotency. If a single pointed mind can wish for anything to the exclusion of any of our contending thoughts or desire, it shall at once be fulfilled. This is the promise of the Shruti. Yoga, viewed in this sense, is a technique of controlling, conserving, preserving, and directing the mental dynamism through a chosen channel of application. So, one who is well versed in this technique and has therefore a complete control over his mind is a god upon earth whose wishes become, as they cross his mind, accomplished facts. It is because of our own mad thinking that we are exhausting in vain all our godly potencies within. So, if you start from your home to the office and on your way allow yourself to be a slave to your own indecisions and thus start walking forward as the thought of duty calls you officewards and backwards when the thoughts of the joy of idle sleep pass through your mind, then even late at night you shall still be walking, having reached neither the office nor the home. The only way to reach the office is to maintain the desire to reach the office constantly in the mind and physically working up to it, ignoring and thus controlling all other dissimilar thought waves. So too, in the accomplishments of our desires, and in fact, all of us shall find that to a large extent, what we are today is the product of or a fulfillment of our own desires, which have gained the required maturity and potency in us. If you are only a typist, you have only desired with sufficient potency to become only a successful typist. If you can desire yourself to become the president of this country with the required consistency of purpose and sincerity of devotion, and maintaining this idea can faithfully work up to it without any contradictory desires reaching your mind to dissipate the mental energies, the mind's journey shall carry you ultimately in a flying carpet, and in Delhi you shall sit in the august chair and perhaps regret its pinpricks. We have indulged in rather too long discussion, but if thereby the pessimistic crowd of suicides who form the majority of our sad desperate and degraded generation could regain for themselves a little more of self confidence and the awareness of their own potencies that lie uncultivated and unclaimed within, this sadhu feels that he will be justified in this necessary and deliberate degradation. Thus, if a meditator meditates upon Om constant, it will be your habit. Even in sleep, also, you will chant Om, 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 and having possessed the potential meaning of Om, for which it's not merely word. So, thus, if a meditator meditates upon Om with a desire to enjoy the subtler joys of Brahmaloka, he gains that plane of consciousness. And if the meditator with single pointed devotion meditates upon Om in a Nachiketa like spirit of seeking the ultimate and the immortal, he shall certainly become that. That is the impact of the mantra. So here we can see that what our Shankaracharya ji has written on this. Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji's bhashya is very small. So what he told, अतः एतद् हि एव अक्षरं ब्रह्म अपरम् एतद् हि एव अक्षरं परं च तयोः हि प्रतीकम् एतद् अक्षरम् एतद् हि एव अक्षरं ज्ञात्वा उपास्य ब्रह्मेति यो यदिच्छति परमपरं वा तस्य तद्भवति. सो जो व्यक्ति इस ओमकार को ही अपना उपास्य मान लेता है, चाहे वो परब्रह्म या अपरब्रह्म, वो सिद्ध होता है. परब्रह्म को अगर इच्छा करेंगे तो परब्रह्म की ज्ञान होता है, अपर ब्रह्म की इच्छा करेंगे तो अपर ब्रह्म की प्राप्ति होता है. क्योंकि ओमकार परब्रह्म की भी वाचक है, अपर ब्रह्म की प्रतीक है. तो आप ओमकार को किसी भी भाव के अनुसार उपासना कर सकते हैं. साधक की उसी प्रकार की फल प्राप्ति होगा. मतलब परब्रह्म की वाचक रूप में ध्यान करते करते संसार निवृत्ति रूप ब्रह्म प्राप्ति निश्चित है. और ओमकार को अपर ब्रह्म की प्रतीक के रूप में ध्यान करते करते देह त्याग के बाद अपर ब्रह्म प्राप्ति होता है, मतलब ब्रह्मलोक. लेकिन अगर जीते जी यू वांट टू डू, यू वांट टू गेट एनीथिंग एल्स, देन पर ब्रह्म की वाचक के रूप में you have to do that. So, you understood today's discourse. So, Vijayamma, can you explain what you understood?
Oh, you have two choice. For a driver, there is two choice. Either you take up Om as supreme reality or relative reality. The way your mental bend is, your thought goes, your success in your sadhana will be according to that level.
So, what the point I raised today, the maximum of our desire in our life
Hmm.
don't get fulfilled. And here, Veda is telling what about you will think that will be. In that portion, what we discussed, can you please explain it?
Our Shastra says, Yadrishi Bhavana Yasya Siddhir Bhavati Tadrishi.
No, 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 no. In a common man's language, I am giving you the opportunity to tell before the students that what I told today, that you
What you, what you think you become that only.
know. What about the things we elaborately discussed about
I
the
can
mental
say
journey?
I'm not fluent, neither in Bengali nor in English nor in Hindi. I can't express. I can't write. I can't orally express.
Okay,
Impossible.
anyone in this class? Shreyashi, will you try? What just I told, we will clarify you. I don't want that you will be true.
Meaning, it's the thirst, like what you want to become. It's the, like, if it is, it's the clinging for the thing what you want. You have to go in that way. So if you want to become, you have to be in that form. মানে আম, অনেক বেশি টেনাসিটি থাকতে হবে ওই জায়গাটা ধরে রাখার জন্য।
In English. So, what is that mental
Yeah,
journey things? You please explain.
sorry.
Mental genie. What about the Aladdin's wonderful lamp? What about the Aladdin rubs the genie performs?
Yeah,
So,
so
hmm,
it's our mind, like how you train it and how you are tenaciously want to do that particular thing, that you train your mind to do what you want to, like, do accordingly what you want. So I felt like it's the tenacity of what you want or what you want to become. So you have to be tenacious, like patiently tenacious unto that path to reach that.
another thing you missed. We have the waves of millions of desires. Suppose in our mind there is also a wonderful lamp and there is also a genie. Clear? So I want that Jenny started performing. Suddenly another thought wave came, which may be sometimes supporting, sometimes contradictory. And Jenny is an obedient servant. So it starts doing another thing. So multitasking at the same time, sometimes contradictory things he has to perform. That's why none of the goal is getting fulfilled. If our mind becomes single pointed and I want that, karenge ya marenge. Like Buddha Dev, Lord Buddha, when he lastly sat for the meditation, it was his vow either I will get siddhis, mean the fulfillment of this meditation, what I want, or in this very seat, I will leave this body. Even Swami Vivekananda also did the same thing. And they achieved. But in our mind, billions of trillions of desires, and that we don't know. That's the main horrible thing. If you just sit for 5 minutes, no need to sit for 1 hour, 2 hours. Please try to sit for 5 minutes in meditation. Observe your mind, how many thoughts came unnecessarily. So, how our journey will take us to that ultimate thing? So, single pointed meditation means in my conscious, superconscious, subconscious, waking state, dream state, the aim is only one, 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 and one only. And if we work upon it, we shall get it. This is Upanishad's verdict. It cannot be untruth. It cannot be baseless. Maybe you can try, you can tell that for gaining one thing, I am trying for the years, but I am not getting. Again, the same reply. Did you want only these things? Many times you desired something which is contradictory to the main aim. You just think. And we wasted our vital energy. Because of some short term gain, we have lost our energy, our time, our money, our everything. And we are, if we blame Bhagavan that you are lying, तुम झूठा हो, जो बोलते हो नहीं होता है. Can we do that? Did we perform accordingly? The answer will be no, no, no. That is, yes, Revama, please unmute yourself. Yes.
Yeah. Swamiji, I understood that you are trying to say that single pointed focus is required to
Yes.
attain whatever it is. But when you said ki in the waking state, dream state, and all the states we have to be single. But in dream state, we don't have any powers to control our thoughts.
Good.
So what do we do then?
Then first you have to know what is dream.
Yeah, that is the state where mind is working, but the body and all is not working.
No, 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 no. That's a theory.
Yeah.
What is the basis of dream? What you think upon, what is ponder upon in your waking state,
Yes.
consciously or subconsciously. Why subconsciously? Because when you are awake, you have some certain control in your mind, but in the
Yes.
back of your mind there are some little desires you entertain. When you are in sleep where there is no control over your own mind,
Yes.
that subconscious things blooms up.
So it becomes a
Right?
mixture.
Yes. So, I know several Mahatmas, at least 2, 3, it is very rare, who does ajapa job, you know.
मतलब
Even
mind
their
में चलता है.
sleep also, they do ajapa. Constant that japa is going on in their mind, back of their mind, because It is their aim of life. I gave you the example. I have witnessed it. My guru, he was in coma for 2.5 years. Believe me, I have witnessed. The whole body was comatized, but the hand was like this. And the doctors were amazed that how is it possible? Even when he is in coma, these things happening. Means if you really want that and mercilessly don't allow any other greeting factor in your life, that is the Maya, na? That is Maya's job to take you out from the aim anyhow. When you can mercilessly cut the the greed factor of Maya, you are definitely on the way. That is why people do the sadhana of Mother Kali, because the sword mercilessly cut the ignorance and the matter of ignorance, desires of ignorance. Clear? So you have to be, whenever you are 100% assured. That is why you have to see it, because you are having three states,
Yes.
and like a machine, waking state, then dream state, then sleeping state. The fourth state, you have to consciously meditate what you want. If the medicine is not tested properly in the laboratory and you try selling it, it may cause anything else.
Understood.
So, meditation is the laboratory work.
Mm-hmm.
There you observe your mind, that in how horrible situation it is in. Then, whenever you will diagnose the disease, it will be easier for you to treat. Our diagnosis is wrong. Clear?
Single pointed Nidhi Dhyasan is the only way we can control everything.
No, single pointed Shravan, single pointed Manan,
हाँ वो
single
तो है बट
pointed
निधि ध्यासन
Nidhyasana.
comes after श्रवण and मनन ना.
आप आप मुझे मत बोलिए, दिल खोल के खुद को बोलिए. Whenever we are in the class, how many times your mind, our mind, remains stand still, focused totally 100% in this subject matter.
Yeah, it's not 100% but yes 80-90% फिर भी होता है.
Means, see, this is, you are awake and you are seeing why I don't allow anyone else to switch off their video. What will happen for me if you switch off your video and listen? This is the opportunity you are getting, that I will switch on my video because Swamiji is observing me. डर से सूर्य चंद्र भी घूम रहा है. So whenever you will see that Swamiji is looking at me, maybe in between the class or after the class, he will tell that couldn't you do after the class? So I have to be conscious. So on that moment, at least you will start finding yourself available 90%. Because of our mental makeup, we can't grasp that total thing. See, when you were 13 people and lastly Ramnathji came, 14 people. So the thing is, I explained it nicely. Yet after the class, when I asked what you understood, you could not explain me properly. It did not touch what I wanted to know. So you were awake, you were listening to, but your Sravanam was not completed. So if Sravanam is not completed, how we will do Mananam? We go for meditation class, Unless and until our Sravanam is not clear, upon which we will do Mananam. If Mananam is defective, then Nididhyasam should be defective. So Sravanena Mukti Bhavati. If you do 100% Sravanam with correct understanding, that Sravanam itself is Mananam. That Sravanam itself is Nididhyasam. That is why Atma va Are Srotavya. आप बोल नहीं सकते कि मैं पढ़ लूंगा, ये कठोपनिषद किताब खरीद के मैं पढ़ लूंगा. You have to listen from your acharya. There is no other alternative.
Yes, Swamiji, when we are in the class, we listen to you. Okay. We try to focus ourselves also. But then we need time for Manana to understand what I have listened. What I've heard, I need time to understand, to do the Manan. So that will take some time, no? Because again,
Or
I have to.
again, I am telling, see, I am the product of samsara. I have not fallen from the sky or the tree.
Yes.
Whoever or however busy you are, you get time for Manana.
Yes, we do get time.
Even if our Prime Minister can do Mananam,
Yes, we can do Manana. We are doing Manana.
means our intensity is required, mental intensity. Suppose I was off for 1.5 months. Please don't answer me. I know everything. How many of you regularly, what was the routine? You did Sravanam, the classes. In the group, the classes were uploaded, but we could not. I'm not blaming Amma. I'm trying to tell you that our 100% focus is not there. Our
Not there.
100% love is not there. Our 100% desire is not there. We want short-term gaining, So that is why you can't blame Shastra. When you will start living like Shastras and you are not getting, and it never happens. Then all the Mahatmas could tell something else, who devoted their whole life. And Veda proclaims that if you start loving meditation and Shastra, it is not that you will become a sadhu or sannyasi. If you are a homemaker, you will be a better homemaker. If you are an accountant, you will be a better accountant. You are a doctor, you will become a good doctor. If you are a social worker, you will become a good social worker. If you are a lawyer, you will be a good lawyer. That is the result. You got my point?
Yes, yes. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can you please switch on your video? Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. You make a routine. You make a routine that I will do. This is happened for me also. That is why I am telling that I am also the product of samsar. I was in the samsar. I am in the samsar. There are also several things come and go. Greed factor, which tries to distract me from my way. साधु के लिए तो और होता है. Unless and until you are very strict and you act upon it. Not only strict होने से कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा, आपको ऐसे अनुसार कर्म करना पड़ेगा. And see, result will come, will come, will come. This is Guru Vachan nahi, this is Ved Vachan. वेद इतने हजारों साल से खड़ा है, वेद कभी झूठ नहीं हो सकता. यू ट्राई. हरि ओम तत्सत. हरि ओम विजयम्मा. हरि ओम उषाम्मा. हरि ओम शंकर लाल पोद्दार जी. हरि ओम सुशीलम्मा. हरि ओम जेटली जी. हरि ओम श्रेयोशी माँ. हरि ओम रेवा अम्मा. हरि ओम रिमिका माँ. हरि ओम रामनाथ बाबू. हरि ओम जोईता माँ. हरि ओम अलका जी. हरि ओम राहुल. हरि ओम अर्पिता माँ.
Hari Om, Swamiji, the examples are also our little child Dhruva and Bhagirath.
Yes,
How
in
they,
Bhagavatam.
and one song came to my mind. I will sing 2 lines.
Yes.
आपनाते আপনি থেকো মন তুমি যেও না গো কারো ঘরে আপনাতে আপনি থেকো মন যা চাবি তা
বসে
বসে
পাবে,
পাবি
খোঁজো নিজ অন্তঃপুরে.
শুধু খোঁজো নিজ অন্তপুরে. Then the next stanza is nice. পরম ধন্যে পরশমণি যা চাবি তা দিতে পারে কত মণি পড়ে
পড়ে
আছে
আছে
সেই
ওই
চিন্তামণি
চিন্তামণির
নাচ
নাচ
দুয়ারে.
দুয়ারে.
So what you said?
Yes, absolutely. But not only knowing, doing according to the knowledge,
Yes,
that gives you success.
yes.
Doing according to your knowledge. Thank you very much. Hari
ধন্যবাদ, প্রণাম.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
কি
Thank you.
দেখো কমলাকান্ত,
নিচে বাজি
এ সংসারে.
সারে.
কি দেখো
সে বাজি
কমলাকান্ত, মিছে
সে
বাতি এ সংসারে.
সে বাজি করে
চিনলে
চিনলেন
না রে, সে যে
সে যে
তোমার
তোমার
ঘটে
ঘটে বিরাজ
বিরাজ করে.
করে.
আপনাতে আপনি থেকো.
And he's telling the mind. Basically, not the body moving, the mind is moving all over, going to so many houses of desires.
Thank you so much. Hari Om.
ধন্যবাদ, প্রণাম.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Pranam.